It's Hazelle.
It's Azura.
And I'm Germaine.
And welcome back to another episode of Clarity's Podcast. Okay, so girls, in a few words, how has your 2022 been?
I have one word.
Oh, one word. Go for it.
Chaotic.
Oh.
Why?
I don't know why, but I do feel like from the people around me as well, 2022 has been very fast-paced. Maybe because everything's going back to normal.
I think not too far off from that. I would say a little bit unsettling. Yeah, like everything is,
Uncertain.
yeah.
And for me, I think I would use the word fatigue to describe my 2022 because it's been full of like many things ongoing at the same time. Some of the people I love have gotten COVID. Thankfully, they have recovered, but it's not a very nice emotional journey to go through. And this is exactly what we're going to be talking about this episode. Are we afraid of change in 2022? Are we afraid to try new things in 2022? Okay, but before that, what are some of the things that you see the past 3 months?
You want to start with the positive or?
The positive.
I've really seen people come together and help each other out because so many people are getting COVID, right? So people will like post online on Instagram stories like, this is what you do if you get COVID, get this medication and this home remedy. I love that.
The 莲花 don't know what medicine. Yeah, that's the one. Yeah. So that's great to see. What about you?
I think that with, the pandemic for sure, becoming more of a norm and people knowing what to do about it, knowing what to do with it, I think we're sort of getting our groove, getting our rhythm. And I see that people are going out there to, sort of like get themselves out of the rut that they've been in, for the past year or so. And they're doing like new things.
Yes.
That's really good to see. And for me, many of my friends have gotten married just in 2022 itself. So
wow.
I'm happy to see, more of them are holding like their wedding banquets that have been put off for like months after months after months.
So how much have you given away in ang pao money already?
Well, I tell you, so much lah.
Oh, no.
I've been to like 4 to 5 wedding banquets just in 2022 alone. But it's a happy thing.
Yeah.
I'm more than happy to be doing that. Yeah. And also, I see many people traveling.
Yes.
On my IG story.
No, but I love when people like travel and then they post everything that they do.
Yeah.
It's like I'm in Switzerland with you.
Yeah. I'm living through them, you know.
Yeah.
It's that kind of feeling. So that's really nice to see. But of course, there are also certain things that we don't see amidst the pandemic. What do you think they are?
Something that I think it should be more talked about is how fatigued our frontline staff are. Because I've had callers calling in where like the husband go and pick the wife up, the wife is a nurse, and the wife OT for hours and hours. And I've had friends post on their Instagram stories like, I don't know how long more I can take this, They had all their off days cancelled.
Yeah.
They can't take leave and stuff like that.
I think that's a great point because I think before this, we were just hearing about it. But a couple of days ago, because I went to the hospital, I saw it for myself. I saw how they were so short-handed and they were so, I think, just tired. They just looked tired, even though they didn't say anything. But it just felt like it was a bunch of people who were just trying very hard to sort of like keep the system going.
And for me, the healthcare side of things apart, like even my friends in the corporate world, I feel like they always find a need to outperform themselves, to achieve even better so they can work hard to get a promotion amidst the pandemic.
Yeah.
Like I have many friends like calling me up or like when we go out for coffee, they tell me it's a competitive world out there, Like it's so tough to like show to their bosses, to prove to their bosses that, hey, I'm really working so hard. Work from home, 9 to 6, I'm already working more hours on top of that. And I find that they have been putting a lot of pressure on themselves. And of course, being in the middle of the pandemic, there are many things that they worry about. Of course, bring bread home for the family is one of them as well. So what are your first thoughts about whether Singaporeans are willing to take a leap of faith, are willing to change their lifestyles or their jobs even amidst the pandemic?
I've had quite a number of colleagues leave recently.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, very close to them. So I'm very happy for them that they took that leap of faith.
Right.
And I think they are happy as well for a change of scenery,
But do you realize that it's only the young people who dare to do this?
Yes. And I feel like there's still sort of like a stigma, especially among the older ones. Like, okay, so right, my mother used to work in HR.
Okay.
And for a long time, I would hear her say things like, oh yeah, these young people, they hop all the time. As if it's a bad thing. Yeah. But I think that landscape is sort of changing. Because I think they need to understand as well that who said you have to stick to show something. You know what I mean?
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. My mother was with her job for like 20 odd years before that company closed down because it's producing books, printing paper and all that, right? And when the digital market took over, obviously like it wasn't performing well. And another aunt of mine lost her job amidst the pandemic. She got another job, lost it again because of the pandemic, and she was just put into this like emotional pressure. Like I don't think she needs the money, but she wants to have something to do. So she's always clinging on to the hope of like having a career to go to, an office to go to every single day.
I don't think it's necessarily that we don't want to change.
Right.
But change can be very scary. Like even thinking about all these colleagues leaving me, I feel quite abandoned.
Oh,
No, I feel quite
We're
sad.
here.
Oh yes, you guys
still
don't leave, huh?
here.
Y'all don't leave, okay. But yeah, I mean, I'm really happy for them to seek new pastures.
And actually, one of our crew here at Clarity,
Yes.
she also left to go to Korea.
Oh my!
Such a brave girl to just pursue her passion and like whatever she wants to do. So shout out to you if you're listening to this episode. I hope you're doing well in Korea.
We miss you very
We
much.
miss you.
Yeah.
Well, that said, do you know that apparently humans are wired to fear change, especially when they're not within your control? So things like, for example, changing of jobs, changing of homes. We have control over that because we choose what office we want to move to next, which area do we want to buy our next property. But when it comes to forces outside of our control, such as a pandemic or an accident, we feel super, super helpless and disempowered.
Well, naturally, right? If it's something
sure.
that you have incited, you incited this change. I got this new job. You feel proud of yourself, right?
Correct.
But let's say you got a demotion or something like that that's not within your control. Naturally, you would feel quite upset.
Yeah, and the thing is, when you're planning for a change that you planned for yourself, it takes time, right? You already know that you are job hunting, it gives you months to prep sort of yourself for it. But when something unexpected happens, that's when it takes you by surprise. And I think a lot of people, it's not the easiest to deal with.
Right. So, be it change that takes you by surprise or not, personally, do you girls embrace or fear change?
It's quite scary, lah.
I
such a tough
personally resist change.
Really?
I like things the way that they are.
Oh, you don't seem like that,
Really?
Yeah. You seem like the outgoing, lively kind of girl who will take things like however they're handed to you.
But I'm quite timid on the inside, really. I'm afraid of taking risks. I'm afraid of trying new things.
That's not the Germaine I know.
If you ask me to like eat a new kind of food, I'd be like, don't want.
Oh, I witnessed that.
Oh, we went Korea. Then they had like, live octopus squiggling
The
on
moving
the plate.
one.
Yes. And they asked me to eat it. And I was like, hell no.
She rather die.
But that's a delicacy there, right?
It's yummy,
No, I don't doubt it's yummy. But I'm afraid of new things.
Wow.
Yeah.
And so like little things like that can really tell whether you embrace or resist change.
For sure.
What about Zura? What do we think she embraces or resists it? No, I feel
Tell
she
me.
embraces it.
I think
feel.
so too.
I think I'm quite afraid of them. It will take me maybe some time to think about it. I would
Okay.
really changes that I have control over. I'll really think about it and consider it, that kind of thing. But I think when I'm being put in a position where, a change happens, I'll just go with it, lor. Because no choice, right?
That's the thing. She will take whatever comes at her. That's I think part of her beauty.
Correct. But I
Yeah.
think ultimately all humans are like this. We adapt. For some of us, it may take a longer time, but for some of us, we can adapt just with a snap of a finger.
I would like to say that Hazy, you embrace change with like open arms. Is that
Really?
accurate?
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so. I like change. In fact, I want change. I feel like if I'm in a place for too long and it's too stagnant with no space or room for me to grow, I think it's time for me to move out of it. And always like seek new adventures or new things for me to grow.
Yeah.
But I feel like amongst the three of us, I'm the most traditional and like the conventional kind of like Asian girl. No, really, seriously. These girls, they have so much fun in them. Sometimes I look at them and I wonder to myself, wow, are we really the same age or not? I just want to go home and type on my laptop. But they always go out and have like fun, party together, have fun together.
We
watch
really don't
soccer
have
match together.
We don't have as much fun as you think we do. lah. No, but okay, I want to ask you guys this, right? What was the biggest risk you took in your life so far?
Well, for me,
Yeah.
it has got to be work related.
Okay.
Okay.
So back in 2017, that was like the first year I entered. And in 2019, 2 years in, one of my bosses actually sat me down and asked me, Hazel, tell me what you really want. Do you want to be a radio DJ or do you want to act? Like, I can't have you like dangling on the fence. And at that moment, I was really struck by her comment because I didn't know that she had been thinking of me this way. I thought I was like doing my part as an artist, doing my radio job, and also when I have some spare time, I like to go and act and explore new things, right? But maybe to her, I wasn't being focused. And I don't fault that, I don't blame that. I can see where she's coming from as a boss. So I told her, boss, can you give me one day to go home and really think about this? And that's when I realized that I've been thinking about this actually for the past 2 years. What do I want my future direction to be?
Yeah.
So I went back to her via text and I told her, boss, I've like given this some thought and I think I want to focus on being a host. At that point, when I was typing that text, I was very afraid because what if I could have performed better as an actress? I mean, in life, it's always about the what ifs, and
But
we never
you
know
never
until we
know,
try.
yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So I just followed my heart. Hosting is actually really what I prefer, and my radio job, I love it so much. And you know, without this decision, I may not even be here today doing Hush podcast with you girls.
That is true.
Right.
That is true. I don't think people realize like it could have been any other combination of three girls.
Right,
Yeah,
right,
it could have very,
exactly.
very easily been, but it just happened. Yeah.
So I think this was one of the biggest risks that I have taken, but absolutely no regrets. In fact, I'm glad that she asked me that question. Only 2 years in my career.
I completely understand. I think when you're making such a big life-changing decision, right? Who's to tell you which is the right one?
And you never know what each path would have for you, you know? So that's a scary bit, right?
I think for me, I'm living through my biggest risk right now. Yeah, which is why 2022 has been very chaotic for me. So you girls know that I'm starting sort of like a business.
Ooh!
Yes, I'm not going to say too much about it. Wait till I start. Okay, but that causes me so much anxiety. Like all the confidence I had built in myself over the years, right? I find myself questioning every day, what makes me think I can succeed? What makes me think I can come out and do a business and not lose my entire life savings? Yeah.
This girl is so knowledgeable. She wakes up, work, after work, meeting, calls
Correct.
after calls, come to radio for her radio show, go home, maybe enjoy one K-pop drama or two. lah. And then go to sleep.
Drama is what?
And then wake up and the whole routine repeats itself.
It's actually wild, like how much work she does. It's crazy.
No, you're great. And
Girls.
when the business is out, like, I'll support.
Just keep motivating me. I feel like I need to have a good support system that will kind of knock those insecurities down.
Right. Go,
Now,
Jamie.
what about you, Azura? What's your biggest risk in life?
I don't know.
Getting married.
Getting married? Did you just say that?
I'll tell you something.
Oh my god.
She really reads my mind. I thought of it. I just didn't want to say it.
Okay, no, but tell us.
This girl. Yeah. If I had to pin it on something, I would say maybe that, because I can't think of anything else. Maybe because
No, you embrace change too much. Nothing is a risk to you. No, seriously,
Hey, that's
seriously.
true.
I think first of all, why I can't like pin it on something is probably because I feel like, and I maybe made a conscious effort to decide on this earlier on,
Okay.
that if I can't control it, I will not think about it. You know, people panic over things, people stress over things, but if you can do something about it, you have done something about it. If you
Correct.
can't, then I just throw it out.
Okay.
That I keep saying that way. Yeah, but I think maybe marriage is the answer because it's a lot of work there.
Of course
Wow,
it is.
it's no joke kind of work.
Have you gotten that Hermes bag, by the way?
Have I?
That's why a lot of work lah. After you get it, you feel happier and nothing seems like work
No, then I'll
anymore.
be a slave to the bag. Like, I have to like take
That's
care of
fine.
it.
As long as you're not a slave to your husband.
Never.
No, but this is the reality of the situation.
is the reality.
Marriage, relationships are all hard work. I think all our listeners who are married right now, they're like, yes, Zura, we know what you're talking about.
Correct. And you may not be having problems. It's fine.
Right.
It's just a lot of work.
Correct. To keep up the entire romance.
Correct.
The,
And maybe
the
for me
responsibilities.
as well, right? Maybe it doesn't help that I'm so after like moments. Like it's so important to me that everybody is present, that everybody live like it's their last day. I don't know if it's crazy lah, but I guess for other people, it's a little bit like, it doesn't have to be like that every day. What you can just be like, do normal stuff every day, you know? But it's so important to me that life is being lived that way. So sometimes it's like a battle.
Okay.
Understand? It's a sort of like alignment lah.
Correct.
So actually, this brings me to my next question. Zura, how did you know that your decision to marry your husband was a rational decision rather than a foolish one?
I tell you, you will never know one.
Actually, that's true.
Fair
I
enough.
think.
I think people always say like, oh, at the end of the day, love is not enough, right?
Okay.
Like it's a choice. For you to choose that person every day, it's a choice. So that's a conscious decision. And I think that same conscious decision has to be made when you're getting married, whatever your values are at that time, you know. Let's say at that time you don't care about anything else. You just care about that person staring at you all damn day and he does that for you. Okay, no, good for you, lor. But maybe for someone else, like, we may not be the most in love or the most compatible, but this person gives me security emotionally and in every other aspect, and maybe that's what you want out of a marriage. Then that's for you, lor.
But can I bring up this point from some psychologists?
Okay.
So what they say is that fear-based decisions create hollow victories at best and
Right.
regrets at worst. So what that means is getting married, let's say, because you want your husband to be financially stable for you, rather than you get married for love, for example, then that is going in the wrong direction. It will cause regret, it will cause problems down the road. But if you get married because I love you, for example, then perhaps that creates more fulfillment in your life.
I think that's absolutely true. Like looking at Jeremy, you entered this relationship because you love your partner, and I can see how that fulfills you.
Yeah.
You know, every time we eat the K-pop barbecue together, wow,
Barbecue. Hey, barbecue.
it's cold. Okay. And I can see like the way Asaph treats you with respect, with love, you know. We know that you have found yourself a good man and you don't feel regret.
Yeah.
Okay, so zooming out from the relationship side of things to like maybe some problems that our listeners may face. Career. When do you know whether it's a leap of faith or when do you know whether it's a foolish decision?
At the end of the day, the rule is what makes you happy. If you are really miserable at your job, if the environment is not serving you and you are maybe getting verbally abused by your superiors, then you should know that there's a better deal for you elsewhere,
Right.
right? But of course, it's difficult to say, hey, is this the right time to make a switch? What if I switch already, then this industry starts booming? You never know.
Exactly. I have many friends amidst the pandemic. They are our age, so they are more willing to take change, to make changes. They want to leave their jobs, which have been serving them well. Like the pay is great, you know. The colleagues are so, like not like BFF, but okay, they're not nasty people. But they still find the need to like change, and that's when they ask themselves, "Am I being stupid? My career is serving me just right.
Like,
My
am I
job
being
is
greedy,
nice.
right?
Yeah, but why do I still want to make the switch to somewhere that maybe offers me a higher pay?
But that's the answer, what? Higher pay.
But can that new job guarantee you happiness?
No.
So that's their concern, you know, whether it's a leap of faith or is it something foolish?
It's a risk, what? You roll the dice, what? Right? If you want to trade for more money, but then you end up having to work longer hours, then that is that's a fair situation.
Correct.
Well, I
Some
guess.
people, they knowingly know that the new job pays a lot more, but comes with a whole ton of shit. But in their mind, right, they're like, okay, I'm going to suck it up for 2 years. I go there, collect money. After
Okay.
that, I find a better environment.
And put it in my portfolio, right?
Oh,
Yeah.
so some people do that as well.
Well, then this is when your mom will say, kids these days are hop.
Correct.
Well, then, have you guys ever found yourself like stagnant in a career? It can be your current jobs or like jobs that you have been in and not knowing how to progress.
Definitely. I think this happened during the pandemic because everyone was at home and you kind of didn't have any social activities to kind of grow in that sense, right? So I remember for like maybe 3 months there, I would just go to my radio job, come home, sit on the sofa and play Nintendo Switch for like at least 10 hours before I go to
Sure.
sleep.
At least 10 hours.
Animal Crossing, I was damn
Oh my
obsessed with the game.
God.
By the end of the 3 months, I was like, what the hell am I doing with my life? My brain is mush. I don't know what is going on next. I don't know where's my direction. I
But
was
well,
very
at least
lazy.
it was a good like 3 months break.
It was a good break,
Right.
but it also felt it gave me a bit of anxiety as well, right?
But kudos to you for stepping out of that.
I think it helps that what we do is not like stagnant every day. Like our days vary, you know. So I think that helps.
No, but imagine if you did data entry every day.
I would die. No, I will honestly die. So, which is why, like, the majority of people who go to the office every day, sit there for 8 hours, like, I respect you because I will not be able to sit there for 80 minutes.
But I think there's a job for everyone out there.
Correct.
Like not everyone wants to do our job.
No.
And not like we can perform everyone else's jobs. You know what I mean? Some people feel like they find happiness in entering data. They take pride in their work, and I really respect that.
Actually, I might enjoy that. Entering data.
I'm sorry, everybody. You got to see her Google Sheets.
I love the spreadsheets and the typing and all that. Very fun. Okay, I'll consider
This
a
is one thing I
curiosity.
cannot.
Wow. But I think, if everybody around you is so focused on maybe a vertical climb, on the next step, on doing something more than they're already doing, and if that does not interest you, I think that's okay. Because
Right.
like, who said that growth has to be vertical? It could be lateral.
Yeah, I've known of people who took pay cuts to go to a different job just for a new environment
Amidst the pandemic,
right before the pandemic.
oh,
And they're happier.
wow. So
They are happier, yes.
did they feel like they're sway like right after? Pandemic. Now my pay is cut.
No lah, I mean it's good. But then you're locked in with a new job at least, and you don't at least get retrenched or anything.
Positivity.
What about you, Hazy? What was your rut in life?
Every day I feel like I'm afraid I'm getting stagnant. Like I'm always thinking, how can I create more content? How can I reach out to more people, more followers? No, it really will be what I'm thinking about every night before I sleep. So to me, this is me not knowing how to progress in my career. Like how can I make it up there? I still don't have an answer actually, unfortunately.
I think sometimes, Hazy, you're also a bit too hard on yourself. Lah. You need to be grateful and appreciate everything that you have done. Take a step back and really thank yourself.
Yeah, which is why I'm going on a cruise soon lah. To
You
thank myself.
deserve it. You deserve it.
Okay, but how can we then get out of this stagnant situation or this rut and challenge ourselves to try new things?
Well, I feel like this is why New Year resolutions are in place.
Oh my
I think
gosh.
my New Year resolutions very seriously actually.
Oh.
I have a diary, don't laugh at me, I have a physical diary. Then every year the first page, right, I will write 2022 New Year's resolution. I always have 3. 1, 2, 3.
Okay.
And then I will check back maybe every quarter to see if I'm inching closer to my New Year's resolutions.
She is living a wholesome life, everybody.
She's very organized and has her stuff together.
Oh,
I didn't
I
even
hope.
set resolutions.
But, well, that's what I'm suggesting. Like, for our listeners, if you don't have the habit of setting resolutions, maybe you can start doing that because I feel like it helps you to be more positive.
Yeah, set
And of
short-term and long-term goals.
Exactly. You have 365 days. Every day is a short-term progress. But at the end of the year, it's actually a long-term thing. You have moved forward, moved ahead so much. But of course, put some thought into your resolutions first before you write them down. Absolutely. So that's my way of getting out of a rut, I'd say. Wow. Yeah. So last year, for a few years before this, one of my resolutions was to not be late anymore. I used to be late for everything, and
So
I
you used
really
to be us.
hated. Oh my
You used to be us?
I'm like, wow.
I just didn't like the feeling of like being late and the anxious feeling on the car. Wow, just wanting to get there, but the traffic cannot be any faster.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to change things to make myself feel better. But what about you girls? What will you do to get out of a rut?
Okay, so for me, I think I'm a creative person, right? So creative stimulation is very important for me.
Right.
So apart from like trying new things, like if I have a job come in that I've never done before, like a Chinese language, something for example, I would go for it.
Okay,
You know
is
what I
there
mean?
something in the bag that we
Maybe.
can expect that Germaine is speaking in Chinese?
喂，你好。
你可以来一句中文吗？
啊，中文，对，我是高级华文的，
真的假的？
真的吧？我是那个 D7 D7
Wow.
No, but so things like that, even though it scares me so much, right? But I'll just do it lah.
Right.
And then also, there's so many different activities these days, like rug tufting, I've tried that. I'm going to go for a pottery class soon.
Aiyo.
I just like to try different things and get my hands on different things.
No wonder she not enough sleep.
Oh. But I have a nice rug, that's the point.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
I tufted it with my own 2 hands.
Hey, come ready.
Come ready. And in my toilet, you always step on it. That's the one. So that's how I get out of a rut, by really challenging myself to do new
By
things.
turning it into a rug.
Not a rug.
Getting
puller.
out of your rut by turning it into a rug.
That's the title of this episode. Then
She's
What
a
about you?
talented genius, honestly. Usually it's, talking to somebody I trust. For me, I think I seek a lot of comfort in the arts, like she mentioned, and
yeah,
if-
she has pain on her legs right now, on her pants.
I might add more.
Yeah.
Stay tuned. But music for me is very, very important. And sometimes I feel like I am in a rut when I stop getting inspired by music. Like I need to find music that inspires me like often. And sometimes when you're going through a rut, right, and nothing inspires you, not even like music, that's when I'm like, I need to find something. Yeah, so it could be a movie, most likely a book. I need like mental stimulation.
It's like inspiration.
Correct.
Okay, so to our listeners, do we believe that being in this pandemic allows us to take risks and try something new? Or should we be more conserved exactly because we are in a pandemic?
But I think we are coming out of the pandemic. Like, let's say if at the start you were afraid to leave your job because you didn't think you would find anything else.
It's
I feel like
understandable.
now is the time to. Because things are opening up and a lot of people are moving around. So there's something for you out there.
I think maybe there are those who feel like all the more I need to keep my job because that already happened. I already saw maybe people around me losing their jobs. So all the more, even if they had a desire maybe to move, they would feel like it's very risky leh. Like, you know, a pandemic hit us out of nowhere. So that might hold them back right now. But I think there's another camp, like, there's nothing to lose.
Right.
Yeah, and you know, with like the digital space growing, people are actually leaving their jobs for jobs that they don't know how to explain to their parents, but they are taking that leap of faith anyway.
And I believe that, you know, even if you are scared, maybe why not try to go for interviews first? When you have landed a job, you know for sure, then maybe submit your letter of resignation to your current boss. Maybe that would be a better way for you to cope with your emotions, but still let you try new things. That's what I think.
At the end of the day, if you're seeking something, the fact that you want change, you need to come to terms with yourself that I will take responsibility for this decision and that it's on me. It's accountability, right? And you must not be hard on yourself. So if it doesn't work out, it's okay. There's something else.
It was your choice.
Correct.
Yeah.
It was your choice. At least I tried it. It was shit. Fine. Find something else. Don't look at it in such a way that, I shouldn't have done it. Like, I regret. Like, because if you didn't take that step, right, I feel like at the end of the day, you would regret more. Like, what if? And nobody wants to live with like what ifs.
Wow, this is
Very
like
beautiful
therapy
final
for
words.
us.
Very beautiful conclusion.
I think no need to say anything already. Let's just leave it at that.
But do you have any final words for our listeners?
Go out there and take risks. That's what living life is, you know. If you're just gonna be comfortable every single day, you only have one life.
Right.
Use it to the fullest. And yeah, like Azura said, live with no regrets. Like
I
how she
agree.
does. Balls of steel, let's go.
I also think don't be afraid to try because even if we fail, who knows, one day we might look back at our own stories and laugh at ourselves. Now, maybe the situation may seem a bit dark and scary, but trust me, you walk out of it and one day it will be bright and sunny.
Yeah. And regardless, just always know you are not alone, okay? We are all experiencing these thoughts of self-doubt, insecurities, and uncertainty. You are really not alone.
Yeah.
So with that, thank you for tuning in to this episode of Clarity's Hush Podcast.
Make sure you follow us on Instagram at itsclarity.co for more updates on Hush. And we're also on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Me Listen as well.
That's right. If you want videos, you want to watch us, it's on YouTube. It's clarity.co. Don't forget to subscribe, like, comment.
Thank you once again. I'm Hazel.
I'm Azura.
And I'm Germaine.
And have a great 2022.
Woo! Okay, but how can we then get out of this stagnant situation or this rut and challenge ourselves to try new things? Not the live octopus, I would never eat that shit, but
Everybody has a price. What is the price for this?
to eat the live octopus, just one, $1,000 I would do it lah. of course.
Really?
Who's gonna pay her $1,000 for her to eat live octopus? Please don't, Azura.